Ladies and gentlemen, how you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangroo, low, low, low.
And folks, it's a new week, which means it's time for some more SD2 Division 2 Season 5 play. Today on Slutsk West, we have ourselves a real ripper. Rang, who's duking it out, and what they bring it to the table?
On left-hand side in the blue, we have Hypokrass playing the Herman Goering Mega Panzer Division with a Vanguard income, and on the right-hand side in red, we have a Znat playing the 3rd Guard Mechanized Corps with, surprisingly, a Vanguard income as well. What a shocker.
Yeah, I cannot wait until we have a little bit of a switch up here in terms of the early kind of income play. It's way too viable just to keep it the way that it is right now, you know?
Yeah, it's pretty much a no-brainer to take Vanguard in majority of 1v1s. Maverick can also work, but it's a little bit more riskier for obvious reasons. But yeah, just looking how things are developing, it's really going on up north here. We got some Flammenwerfers and Oggerman Cheekies just going at it.
So it seems to be a little bit strange. I'm just kind of watching as these machine guns also kind of tickle each other from 1,000 meters away.
Both MG42s.
Yeah, actually I didn't realize until just now, but you're absolutely right. That is a strange happenstance.
Indeed it is, but yeah, with the help of the 233, that's going to give them a lot of fire support, and yeah, I'm quite surprised Znat didn't bring an early anti-tank gun up north, because it's usually a very much a, you know, safe bet to try and do, because right now Hypokrass can just really harass with the 233 and Jagdpanzer.
Yeah, that's true, but if you look in the center, you see why he didn't really have a whole lot of points to bring up to the, the north.
Just like a lot of armored firepower, but he's really not making much progress with it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, please. But I feel like the biggest reason that though is the Jagdpanzer, despite the fact that it's really not. I mean, it's not a Hetzer that we're really super concerned with here, but it's just they're just pinging off here as opposed to being more effective. So I'm kind of wondering what happens when this Tiger up to the north is able to swing a little bit further south and start to get shots onto that arterial as it comes from east to west here.
Yeah, I did like how Znat tried to flank in the Radzevka to get a snipe, but it got stopped at last minute. Yeah, it could have been a very good kill, but the 233s really coming in clutch. And we're seeing one of the first of many Flak 88s being brought in from Hypokrass because, hey, why bring anti-aircraft guns when you can also have them be used as anti-tank guns?
Well, I think one of the reasons you do that is because if you look down to the south, you see that your entire flank is folding. So I mean, the anti-infantry would not be a bad idea. And at long last, by the way, Cobra's a Cobra commander over here just kind of runs down and eventually kills that 233 to the north, bringing in a brace of Shermans to kind of go maybe solidify things up there to the top. But with the Jagdpanzer there, I don't like their prognosis.
Yeah, but yeah, it's had a really great push here from Znat, really getting a good amount of territory. If he can just bring in some more anti-tank guns and infantry to hold those forest positions, that's going to be a pretty tough nut to try and take back. And Hypokrass is bringing in some Panzer IVs right now and a Pioneer troop, but it's going to need a little bit more.
He certainly is. He certainly is. And I think this the Ju-87 being brought here actually down this main line, this could be excellent if the Cobra can be, suggested to move away.
I don't think the Cobra is going to be taking that hint, Khan.
No, he cannot, and I think that's really kind of weird. I feel like the anti-air should always default to air, but that's a weird thing that happens every now and again, I think.
Yeah, it's also like at closer range, that Flak 88 is pretty crap against fast, agile aircraft. Like, it was definitely a very silly move bringing in that Stuka, knowing there wasn't the Cobra in the air, and knowing that only had one anti-aircraft gun. That was definitely a little bit ballsy. And now he's going to be bringing in the second Flak 88 as his first one does go down, which, yeah, it's a very costly loss, like losing that Stuka and the Flak so early on.
Exactly. That's 220 points right there. That's almost, what, a minute and a half? About a minute and a half kind of thing? That's a ridiculous amount of income.
Points. Yeah, and Znat's just got very good control down south. But in terms of the actual flags, Hypokrass is still running. He's got 1311 holding the central and northern flag positions with just his few troops. So he's doing good. So he does have time to try and retake this southern side. Oh, now it has gone down to a trove.
It certainly seems to be the case. I'm just kind of watching here in the middle as guards are getting shot at by half-tracks from the German side, which is just such a bizarre thing to say, because why would the Germans get half-tracks? They get to ride around on horse-drawn carts. Like, I don't get...
I know, that's like the Gucci style of getting around. Like, screw mechanized warfare. We want to go back to Napoleonic era, Khan. That's what the German army did invading Russia during Barbarossa.
Oh, yeah,
Napoleon did it with horses. We can do it too.
I'm sure I kind of neglected to mention what happened to a lot of those guys, but the Cossacks, I think, did enough to take out their fair share of the Wehrmacht.
Yeah.
Looking to the north, I'm actually kind of a little nervous now for Hypokrass here. 2 Su-85s, 4 Shermans, and he's got a single Jagdpanzer, 2, I say Hauptmachiki, but Flammenwerfer for troops, and 1 MG-42.
Yeah, that's a lot of Shermans, and those are pretty scary tanks. Third Guard Mechanized always been a very strong division in 1v1s, just thanks to a lovely Sherman spam, and of course having some S-35s to back up with firepower. He doesn't have any infantry, Khan, and no recon, so he's blind as a bat with all this armored support up north.
Yes, but remember that quantity has a quality all by itself, and even if he gets just completely and totally, let's say, shanked by, the first couple of Shermans here, the Jagdpanzer still has to take out 6 vehicles by himself.
Yeah, and he's not going to have a very good time doing it.
Especially when the tank destroyers come up, yeah.
Oh yeah, he's going to have a horrendous time. But yeah, central position still looking pretty good. Having that Tiger, it's pretty much just going to negate anyone from trying to push, and the town is pretty even Steven, and down south is actually stabilized a bit here for Hippo as well.
Bizarrely enough, the P4s were enough to take out the Shermans that we saw kind of just south of the MP44 Pioneer.
Now the Stuka.
Yes, I was going to say second Stuka coming on in hopefully meets a better fate than the first. But there's no air cover other than that. Oh my gosh, this is going to be terrible. Where's the Cobra?
Second.
Where?
He's having an Apcon.
There's no mongooses here. Like I'm really confused.
Oh, is this going to be a double kill?
It should be.
Oh my word. What a kill.
And he's paid himself off.
Yeah, that was definitely worth it, knocking out 2 Shermans, and the other Stuka's going to come in trying to find that target. He does. That's another dead Sherman. No, yeah. So that definitely evened the playing field a little bit for Jagdpanzer, so...
Well, and the Jagdpanzer in the interim was able to take out one of the Su-85s and force the other one to bail out, too. So, yeah, he's got a shooter-kill crit right here. With some more P-guns kind of moving up behind him. And even if this MG-42 goes down, yeah, he's going to go and pivot. He's going to start being able to engage that Sherman if the Sherman tries to get through the trees.
Yeah, so you will. So, yeah, very, very good player from here for up north.
And down to the south real quick, P4 cleans up the half-track that's behind the trees. And I suppose at this point I'm just kind of fascinated into watching who sees what and when. Because right now that Sherman is completely and totally behind enemy lines. And yes, there's a captured Boytov T-34 moving in. Okay, so the Sherman's going to go and have nasty metal fornications with the half-track.
Yeah, very explosive outcome, I have to say. But Jagdpanzer does turn around in time and gets a hit, and the Sherman's going to have a very hard time penetrating the Jagdpanzer's rather thick frontal armor. And there we go. Yeah, goes out and tying off and push. Recon definitely could have helped Znat and some infantry reinforcement share. Oh, an air cover too. He needed a lot of things to make that northern push really work.
Well, and then we also have lag coming in, and despite the fact that... Yeah, there we go. You talk about the fact that the Flak 88 is not likely to go and kill the aircraft, and that's totally fair. But you have to acknowledge the sheer amount of just metal rain that just makes you kind of distracted in the meantime.
Yeah, like it's very good as you see for just, stopping the bomb and run coming in before it can even, drop their bombs, and that's definitely... The Jagdpanzer probably would have survived, but definitely save those guys having a nasty headache.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Why worry about whether or not you can kill it if you can just stress it out enough? I mean, perversely, the Herman Goering division doesn't have the air cover that, in my mind, they always should use. The 410s give a nice amount of firepower, I mean, earlier-ish, but that's not any kind of committed fighter bomber. That's just, it doesn't work.
Quite ironic how the Herman Goering division does not have a lot of airplanes.
Well, it makes me cringe. Even the availability is just awful.
Yeah, like, you can only really afford to take 2 cards draft because, you know, getting to your third availability activation slot and having to pay 3 activation points for an aircraft is pretty expensive, but that's the irony of the German army in 1944.
Well, I will say also, we are going to see your favorite tanks of the war here being brought on in.
Oh, I love him.
Trip Valentine to the north, but I don't know if 3 of a kind beats, Jagdpanzer High. In fact, I don't even think they can pen him, technically.
No, they can't. But yet the Stuka can. Oh, will this be another like double, heck, even triple kill? Those Valentines are probably going to be too slow to try and like dodge it.
Might even be more, because there might be some infantry here.
So the Cobra does come in, Stuka does go down, and 2 Valentines go kaboom.
You know, looking at this here, I mean, we are into Phase B. So, as we see the Germans kind of take a massive amount of territory, mostly because of sheer apathy, it seems, over on the Soviet side. Yes, we've seen 2 of the Ju-87s go down. That's going to cause a hassle later on. We still have plenty of Sherman spam to go through, as well as now 6 more Su-85s. That said, does that delay... Is that a win condition for Herman Goering? Is that the only way the Herman Goering loses here? Is that they lose their air power?
I think Herman Goering's going to be fine. I mean, they've already lost a lot of their, like, close air support, air power already. On a map like this, it's about long-range engagements, really. And Herman Goering does have, well, only 1 Tiger, but the Panzer IVs work pretty well, and the Jagdpanzers at long range also work phenomenally, while the Shermans really operate better in closer quarters map, and this isn't the case. So for Znat, I think he's going to have to rely more on those just 2 guns, those S-35s, to really do a lot of the heavy lifting up north here, and in the central position.
That's kind of what I was hoping you were going to kind of get into here by saying that. I think the major thing to kind of be concerned about, though, is mostly if the Soviets can get any kind of artillery online. If you can shut down or at least smoke out some of those more deadly ranged fighters, the Jagdpanzers, the Tigers, so on and so forth, you can get in close and do knife fighting, and that's what the Soviets have always consistently excelled in this game.
Yeah, like a good off-map artillery in the like central town position, charging through some infantry, get your Shermans in there. Yeah, it'd probably be a pretty good area for Znat to try and engage in.
It definitely seems to be the case. We are going to see another resurgent armor push to the north. 2 more Su-85s. You have yourself an Su-76. And a Valentine is going around these trees, but I don't know if he really wants any kind of Sylvan rendezvous here. Oh, he's getting lucky. The T-34 is distracted by trying to support his infantry. He's getting very lucky on that one.
It's a very slow flanking maneuver here.
Well, maybe they're by Valentine's Day of next year. And somewhat amusingly, the T-34 just goes deeper and deeper into the trees, almost heedless of the danger to himself.
Yeah. Now Valentine's gonna sit back and blow up some infantry, it seems. Not gonna do much damage, though. But yeah, Znat, like... he's definitely lost, like, quite a lot of territory, like, in this northern position. And so far, like, Hypokrass is building up a pretty good force all over. He did lose the Jagdpanzer in the central position due to an S-35. And we are seeing that last Stuka being brought in.
He's not going to make it.
No. No, he's going to make it, but he might not make it back. Oh, wow. Didn't get the kill. I think he was stressed out just enough to make the accuracy on those bomblets well less accurate.
Huh. Not surprised he made it out. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, the Flak 88's really coming in quite useful this match.
And there's plenty more where that came from. Remember, he's got 8 overall. Plus he's got the, what is it, 4? Yeah, he's got 4 SDKFZs, the quad-mounted cannons. I mean, those by themselves will be more than enough. But of course, we're not going to see them for another 5 minutes just yet.
Yeah, they may not have a lot of aircraft, but they have pretty good anti-aircraft firepower, to be fair, for the Herman Goering.
Sure. SU-76 in the meantime. This, of course, is that kind of standoff position, and it looks like the T-34, when I look down to the south, I dare say, yeah, he went down, I think, to the Valentine. So a bit of a hole is open here on the northern flank. Is it being plugged at all? Okay, transmission damage to the Jagdpanzer. Yeah, 2 P4s being brought in, okay.
Yeah, like, Hypokrass, he just really needs to hold. And he's got a very good defensive position up north. He throws, like, some pretty deadly infantry in those forests to try and negate any of his, like, Guard or Devka play, which is probably going to have a very nasty time going up against a bunch of guys with assault rifles. And, yeah, the south side's just really nothing's going on down here. I still think a good off-map artillery play in the town would be his best bet.
Oh, wait,
I don't see it really... Oh!
Forgive me, I didn't want to go and cut you off too much. First of all, Cobra and a 410 are having a little bit of fun here, and the 410, I think, as you might expect, is trying to get out of Dodge. But we have a BM-824. Now, you and I were talking about this before. This is like that weird tracked version of a Katyusha.
Yeah. It's, like, pretty decent.
Well, and I don't think we've seen it nearly ever. Why is that?
Because you do 1v1 casts, Khan, no one ever brings on-map artillery. It's all about off-map. But it's be pretty interesting to see how it works. I mean, longer range is pretty rubbish because it's only 82mm high explosive rockets, which I believe the regular Katyusha is 132 or something.
It's 100. Yeah, it's 132, 152. I think it's 152. Maybe I'm wrong.
130, something like that. Anyway, it's like it's good for stressing out stuff, but not so much in terms of the killing firepower. But we'll see very shortly what he's going to do with it, and that is try to blow up that Flak 88, which is actually a very good target.
Probably the best one you can name under the circumstances, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be taking more damage because it is an anti-aircraft unit. But will it actually... will anything hit?
Well, that with the lag, actually, I kind of like this. That was an interesting play.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a really good play. Like, stress out the Flak and then bomb it to hell. That's... I mean, it's not dying, but
oh my gosh, and then he comes through and it's... Oh my god. That was like a Star Wars moment where it's like, okay, I can go through, kill this guy, go over here, kill that guy. Like, that was lucky. But that was really good at the same time.
Yeah, and the BM actually getting strafed by the 410. But the Flak 88 does survive, getting completely bombarded, So, good for him.
And mark down your scorecards. That means that we have no more Ju-87s on the map.
No, we do not. And, well, I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue for Hypokrass, but I'm curious to see, just how well they've done. Oh, Tiger's going to be engaging. It's going to be engaged very shortly from the air. No, never mind. Flak 88's coming in clutch.
Well, I think that's confusing me. Yes, the S-85 finally took him down, but I think that was just, like, more stress than anything else. I don't think that was because it was really that good at being able to pen him.
Oh, at range, the S-85 was, like, a pretty good shot at penning the Tiger. I will give it, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those moments where it's like, he's used so many vehicles trying to kill the Tiger. I think the Tiger has either been engaged by or killed, I think, a dozen vehicles, and I'm sure we'll see in the aftermath. He's got at least a 5-pack, so.
Yeah, and that's the only Tiger that he has in that entire division. He only took the A-phase run, so I mean, he's going to really be relying on the Jagdpanzers now, which he still has a good amount of.
I'm just watching the fight to the north here. Actually, I would kind of like to see some more Pack 40s being brought on in.
This is a good map for it. I think he's really just using the Flak 88s as ad hoc Pack 40s in a array.
Jagdpanzer goes down after getting engaged forever and ever and ever.
Yeah.
You know, to the north, one of the P4s goes down. So a couple of losses being suffered over here by the Herman Goering division.
Yeah, Znat is really starting to get some momentum now. He's getting very good trades with his SU-85s, really using them to good effect in long-range anti-tank. I mean, down south, with the Tiger knocked out, he also knocked out a Jagdpanzer. So now he has complete tank control over the town, and he should really, play it up by moving up some infantry to try and capture it. Even as a BM8 artillery piece as well to try and do a bit of damage. So that's still losing, but heading into C phase, I think he can get some good progress.
He certainly can. And I know as we kind of look back at the tank tab for Hypokrass, he shouldn't be expecting too much in the way of heavy material. So I guess there's a piece of me that's trying to figure out, does he have the amount of forces needed to last the 14 minutes and 49 seconds now? So like I don't know if the answer to that is yes.
Yeah, I mean losing it's going to be coming down to the anti-tank. I mean, he still has the Pak-40s which he can rely on. We've actually seen a Hummel being brought in. I'm actually really surprised to see someone bring in like a Hummel. It's a unit I've never seen in 1v1, so we'll see how well it goes.
Well, it's because he doesn't know the words.
Yeah. He just hums along.
Yeah, he just hums along, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, this is quite bizarre. We're seeing a lot of lot for 1v1 of on-map artillery being used in rather unorthodox runs. Yeah.
The unfortunate thing, to a certain extent, is that he turned away his attention from the road just as all the infantry was going through. That could have been devastating.
Yeah. Now, this is like a very good push here from Znat into the town. I mean, the German infantry are pretty well dug in and have that lovely free-cell veterancy, but with the firepower of, tanks and a lot of infantry, I think it won't be too long before Znat can take it over.
It won't be too long, but at the same time, let's not go and disregard this MG42 to the south. There's still open territory, which means all that infantry is going to get suppressed supremely quickly.
Yes, they really are correct.
So, yeah, they'll grind them down, but you have to move the Valentines in, you have to move the MTRA in. You can't keep it the way that it is right now and expect to see some success. You have to have a third component.
Yeah, and Hypokrass is bringing in a lot of armor now. He's got Panzer IVs, up the Raju being brought in into the northern position to try and ward off against Su-76s. And I do like his TRS-35s up north. I don't know what they're doing. They're a little bit unsupported. If it had some recon, they could probably get in some shots into these Panzer IVs right now. But alas, they do not.
To check that out real quick just before we check back in on our MG42 friend, who just continues to just thrash. Ooh, there goes one of the Su-85s. Just continues to thrash that guard squads in the open, just so much so to bring in a lag, I think, just the bomb with his name on it. Yes, it's 100 kilogram bombs. Here we go. And no, he doesn't even get the bomb off.
Znat's aircraft has just been getting blueballed this entire match.
But see, that's what I mean. I mean, the Flak 88s, they're not there to kill. They're there to terrify. Yeah,
and just being able to completely stop like a lot of bombing runs is definitely worthwhile. He's definitely getting his money's worth out of his Flak 88s, but he really needs some more frontline firepower right now because Znat is pushing. Not really hard, but he's making good progress, but time is still not on his side, and he needs to capture a flag, and I think that's going to have to be in this town position.
Oof, these Valentines are getting hit from the side. That's such a strange fire angle, just because of the whole line of... Ooh.
So it's because the Panzer IVs had to high ground.
Yeah, but Obi-Wan, I didn't think they would still be able to actually kill the Valentines from this distance. P4s they're not killers, they're farmers with pitchforks. Oh yeah. But meanwhile, the MG42 he continues to be right there, man. Like, we definitely like Corporal Opham is not part of that squad because he's just been burning through ammunition like crazy.
Yeah, it's actually we don't really see machine gun teams be used really effectively in this game, but on a map like this, in that position, that was a pretty good spot for it.
Absolutely. Now, we are going to see, I think, the end of the German defenders within this push for the next one. More than not, just because all that's left is a battery leader and air slash troop, in which, if they're not shooting unarmed peasants, what are they doing there?
Yeah, it's really going to come down to Agpan, I think,
yes.
trying to stay off anything at long range. I mean, I've seen the rocket being dropped in.
But there's that range issue that you were concerned about.
Yeah, and...
Taking double stress damage right now?
Yeah.
And already half the barrage has gone through, and there we've finally seen the rest of the rockets start to home in, and just as I say that, Caster's Curse.
Yeah, definitely not the most killy of rockets, more like firecrackers than anything.
Oh, it's just very orky, it's kind of Daka. Just like tons of explosions, but maybe not killy. I get it.
Yeah. Not very killy.
And I think the time has run out, because now we have 2 squads of MP-44 Pioneers being brought in to support. Is that a third one being... Oh, Air Assault Trooping being brought in, the Hummels being there to kind of go and start shelling some of that artillery positions. And that lag is back, but he's not aiming for that devastating MG anymore.
Nope. Didn't even really do that much damage on a 2-3-3. Really quite a underwhelming bombing run here, but Hippo has managed to secure he's pretty much secured all the flanks again, like northern sides. Pretty good. He's managed to trade efficiently. The town he's reinforcing, like, he's in a pretty good position now to really win this match.
Which is shocking, because Herman Goering was just not really a leader we should, look up to from a tactical perspective.
Yeah.
Something Battle of Britain. 233 in the meantime, he's kind of hustling around. I'm not sure I like this particular play, because I feel like he still can be stressed out and taken out by Superiors. I think right now he's just getting super lucky that he's not getting really too close.
All these Valentines eventually come in and shoot him. It's definitely a bit of a risky maneuver, yeah, but yeah, he's just managed to trade very efficiently, all things considering. I think those Panzer IVs coming in really just like secured a deal in those long-range firefights.
That's such a surprising thing to hear, that P4s were an actual mode to victory.
I know. On a map like this, where it's more long range, the Panzer IVs actually work pretty well, because against Sherman, you have like a pretty decent advantage, and there's less, having to go around corners, and the Sherman has stabilizers, down goes your Panzer IV. Yeah. And there's no IS-2s in the division as well, which helps out a lot. Because this would be a good map for an IS-2 division for sure. Or an ISU or SU, like, any of the big Russian gun divisions.
KVs, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just forgive me, I'm watching as the Superior and the Pioneers just kind of duke it out with, one side with PP Shahs and the other side with lots and lots of MP-44s.
Yeah, and in the infantry fight, the Herman Goering definitely have some pretty quality troops.
Of course, that's because they spent the 5 points to upgrade their troops with MP-44s.
Exactly.
Yep. Other than that, though, I think we are slowly seeing the Soviet begin to run dry. I mean, infantry, of course, he's got tons of it, but if you can't get him anywhere near to the front lines, then what's the point?
Yes, indeed. He really is not going to have a chance, I think, in getting a foothold in that town anymore. We are seeing a push up north here of the Emscher, and some Superiors. He might be able to grab this flag, which would be pretty effective, but he still needs to capture one more to even it out, and looking at the map, I don't really see any other flags he could easily take. The far southern side is way too heavily defended. Central position, same thing. It's just not very pretty for attacking. We are seeing off-map being brought to the town finally, so maybe he can... I want to say he can do something, but he doesn't really have any infantry nearby to really follow up the push.
No, he doesn't. And looking even over here at the German side of things, we saw the SDKFZ, so give me your guards. Go ahead, go over the front lines and tell me what happens when I fire 4 quads at them.
Yeah.
But looking outside of that, first barrage is starting to come in here. MP-44s, though, I think are just outside the area of effect for the most part.
Yeah, Yeah, he's definitely going to be able to get out by just attacking the enemy position. And then if he manages to capture the position where superiors are pretty much shuts down. That's pretty much GG, I would say, because that's like a very hard position to get pushed out of if you fully secure it.
Absolutely, and he definitely has that happening right now, and the P3 is there to support too, so superiors in green cover, that's good, until you have all the extra armor support, so yeah, that's going to be awful for them to try to get through.
They did get a good grenade off here and took out quite a number on the Pioneer troops, so they didn't go down without a fight at least.
Yeah, but the major problem is that they did go down. And I keep rotating my view, because I keep seeing all this armor, all these vehicles being brought on this highway to hell. And I continue to be aghast that this Jagdpanzer, who is rather rank if you see his name, is just able to stand inviolate. He just is blowing things apart.
Yeah, Jagdpanzer is such a good, 1v1. It's such a good, tank destroyer in general, just because it has the same armor as a bloody Panther tank, and it's only, 95 points. It's not the best AP. I mean, it has a pretty good gun as well, actually. But it's just a very... it can just sit there and take a lot of fire from the majority of Soviet anti-tank weaponry and just be like, I'll be fine, I've got armor, I'm sloped, I'm small, I can Jagd, and I can still be a Panzer.
You're right. He is the armored cockroach of town fights. You slap one of those things. I'm serious. I mean, look at a lot of these things. When they are excellent if they can have a single set position with a nice straight line of fire, like in this case here. You have to flank them, and you can't do it easily.
Yeah, this is an IS-2 division for the Russians definitely would have helped out a lot. Because those Jagdpanzers would not be having a good time with 122mm shells heading in their direction.
No, they would not. And now we're watching as this P3 is probably going to go down for a second, but he's going to go and frustrate that Zis-2 just enough. So, while the Jagdpanzer finally goes down from a 152 shell coming right down on top of it, and the east part of the town explodes into fire, it's not enough.
No, I mean he's using off-map now, but the thing with off-map is that you have to follow up with a good push really to actually make it worthwhile.
Yes.
And he's not really being able to do that. He's just using it to soften up the positions right now so he can get back into the forest position. I think he still has one off-map call in, so he's gonna have to make it count, but there's only 2 minutes left gone. I don't think he's gonna have enough time. He only needs one flag. And I don't think that's gonna happen. But he only needs one flag, technically.
Yeah, but the Highlander, I don't think he is here. I think this is a knockout blow. This definitely went the distance. I didn't expect the Herman Goering division to acquit themselves so well. You know how I feel about AirSat's divisions in the first place. I'm sure everybody knows how I feel about
opinions about AirSats.
What's that?
You have very strong opinions about AirSats.
Yeah, they rank up there with Einsatzgruppen. But the Einsatzgruppen is more of a moral distinction. AirSatstruppen just don't have a tactical use in my mind. I know they're there to get shot, but to me, I care about my soldiers. So why would I throw in peasants if I can get a couple men-at-arms here or there? But
you're the quality over quantity guy.
I am. Yeah. And maybe that's to my detriment sometimes whenever I kind of play the game. But as we move into the final, it looks like the final 90 seconds of this particular match, a real tip of the hat here to Hypokrass. I did not expect the 88 play, especially as early on. It seemed very, very rough, very, very uneasy. I didn't expect that to work out for him here.
Same. I'm actually really surprised it worked just as well, because I'm usually under the assumption that you need 37mm guns mixed in with your 88s to actually make them worthwhile. But if you just get enough 88s, you can just blow up anything before it reaches your front line. So screw anything else. Just go for the big bada boom.
Oh, and that's the thing, isn't it? Kill the stuff, more than stressing him out. But stressing him out definitely worked here.
Yeah, he probably stopped half a dozen bombing runs at least, just with the 88 play.
I do admire this last little push.
Yeah.
The oh my god, quick, go, 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 send every last bit of troop I have left, because the entire eastern side of the town is gone. There's no buildings.
He's gonna nab it, but no, it's still 11-13 because the flag in the northern part is flipped over. Yo, he did off-map artillery at Urset's troop, and so it does flip over to Trove.
And the second he loses these guards in the front, it's going to be a 13-11, and that'll be that. So I mean,
yeah. It's very precarious here for Znat. And there we got the Hummel just and the Serpentine. Oh yeah.
You know, I was hoping we were going to see him Sturmtiga, and I didn't even see him bring the Sturmtiga in. I just saw the world explode into fire, and I was like, okay, there we go.
Oh, I just goddamn love that thing. It's the most massive of explosions. You cannot go wrong with that.
It's absurd.
Yeah. It's like, what a stupid vehicle to make.
It was a Death Star on Earth.
Yeah. It's like, hey, we're defending right now. It's 1943-44. You know, we're not really on the offensive. Let's build siege weaponry. This is what we need right now. We need siege weaponry, guys, and really big runs. We're gonna get these naval launchers and put them in tracks.
Bring in Z, the Carl Gustav. Oh, jeez. But the last 10 seconds here, I mean, really well done to both players. Znat, honestly, I think had he just been a little more aggressive with the artillery earlier on, very, very different game.
Yeah, he definitely sort of pushed more into that town area, but that was pretty, like, both sides fought pretty tenaciously. They did a very good job there, and yeah, roughly only 1,000 KD difference, which is pretty standard.
Well, there was one Su-85 who managed to kill 4. Pretty solid. I really want to see what the Tiger did. We do know. Okay, well, Tiger was not as killy as I thought he was. We do know that the Ju-87s were not so much unsung heroes, but they definitely contributed here today.
Yeah, they got the kills right count early on.
And geez, the Flak 88s actually killed 4 planes.
What the hell?
I did not even see that.
I didn't even notice that either. They can actually shoot down aircraft rather than just scaring them. I thought there was just like, you know, scaredy explosions they make, not actual killy explosions. That must have been like a different dial I must have been using.
Well, someone's just like yelling like, bang! Bang! Like that's what I thought the 88 is for. Like, what else do you use it? But overall, I mean, the Jagdpanzer's really well done with those Ju-87's critical kills coming out at the right time. 410's not really the most useful here, but like we said, not really what you're worried about with the Herman Goering division. You're there for the lulls. You're not there for the air power. Yeah.
But yeah, I think if that was an IS-2 division for Znat, he probably would have had a bit of a better time, as that map is really just down to like trading effectively with enemy tanks.
Absolutely. Makes sense. Any other final thoughts, sir?
Not today.
Okay, well, folks, in that case then, until next time, I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangaroo. Take it easy.